Oh, yeah?
Hi-ya!
Welcome to the Battle Science Podcast. I am so sorry for people that are listening with headphones.
They aren't listening anymore.
That hurt for me because I got monitors on. Welcome to the Battle Science Podcast, a Pokemon Go PvP podcast where we talk about all the things about Pokemon Go and how they relate to Pokemon Go Pokemon Go's PvP. I can put a couple more P's in there. Plausible. I am one of your hosts, Steven, a.k.a. aBoyInTheWoods, joined as always by Jesse, a.k.a. RocketAdminJ.
Hiya.
A nice and polite hiya. A cordial hiya to you too. It is November of 2021. Can you believe we are... Let me just say the most cliche thing. Can you believe 2021 is almost over?
Yes.
You know what the new month means? New patrons. You can go over to patreon.com/battlescience. And oh my God, transition. You can go over to patreon.com/battlescience and back us at $1 tier or more to get to the monthly Battle Science After Dark, a.k.a. BSAD podcast that we do every month. October's is up. We talk about stuff and things.
To find out more, subscribe.
Yeah, go over to the patreon.com/battlescience. For $1 more, you can get the BSAD as well as the podcasts a few days before they go up to the public, as well as other little bonus stuff that we are able to sprinkle in here and there. You can also back us $5 or more, like the wonderful people Winston the Champ, Evo Stevo, Jamar, and the new freshly minted Battle Science Patreon podcast producer, James. Thank you for all backing us at the $5 tier or more. Becoming Patreon producers for Battle Science. You too can get your name read out by backing us at $5 or more. Let's see. Battle Science stuff. Oh, let me quickly remind people, if you are new to Pokemon Go PvP, we have a couple of episodes of our podcast that go over the basics. You can go to the podcast feed and go to the episodes. Give me 1 second because they got to pull up which episodes they are here. Is this in order? Published? Yes, this is in fact in order. They are August 27th and the September 6th episodes. Those are our two preseason primer episodes. If you're new to Pokemon Go PvP, those will give you a nice base set of information to better understand what we're talking about here in this podcast. So go listen to those podcasts. It is a lot. We're going to try and refine it for next season's preseason primer. I'm going to try and refine it for next preseason primer. But if you want to know more about Pokemon Go PvP, you can go watch or listen to those and then come back here and then listen to this podcast, and you'll get a better understanding of what we're talking about. Because you might hear us talk about CMP and AWAC and fast attacks and charge moves and not know what in the world is going on. So go get some context. I'm talking over to my freshly minted Sith Lord co-host. I think that works.
Unlimited power. Begin the transition.
Wow. Yeah.
Giddy up now. This is the news roundup.
All right. PSA. Niantic support a couple of hours ago on this fine Tuesday. Well, it's evening now, but 5 hours ago. Niantic support on Twitter. Trainers, we will be performing server maintenance from November 3rd to November 6th, 2021.
So I didn't include that in the notes because it's not going to be relative by the time this goes up.
Well, maybe on Friday. Whatever. You'll still be able to play Pokemon Go app, but you may experience some disruptions. We apologize for any inconvenience this may cause. We'll post updates as maintenance begins and ends.
Also known as don't GBL during that time.
Yeah, you'll expect more GBL, aka Go Battle Lag, than normal. So,
I would say that would be actually a great opportunity for another thing we're going to talk about here later with the Rocket event coming up. That would be your days to go through your collection and clean house.
not a bad option. Do you have extra napkins?
Do I have extra napkins? Yeah.
Do you mind handing me a napkin? I forgot that I spilled a little bit of Sprite earlier.
Here.
GBL Lag City. That's not helpful. Got it.
Jesse threw napkins and they went everywhere.
Everywhere but where I asked them to go. Oh, sorry. I called it the wrong thing. Non-branded lemon lime soda. We're not sponsored.
Generic lemon lime soda.
I'll only call it by its actual name until we get money from them. Even if it's a single dollar, like the taxable amount, like we'd have to like pay out on taxes for every dollar, but every time I say the name brand, we should get $1 from them. Not that we have anywhere near enough listeners for it to matter. Dude, the Battle Science people like drink a whole lot of soda, X-branded soda.
Body can handle more. What you sounded like 15 minutes ago, I don't think you needed Sprite either, or lemon flavored soda.
It's non-caffeinated. It's just sugar.
Right, but you were like a geyser.
Oh, the burp?
Yeah.
Happens with carbonated beverages.
So what they're saying is shake Steven for better results.
I guess.
Put you on a spinny chair and spin you around a lot.
I become an amateur operatic singer. Coming in November, Festival of Lights and more. This is a Pokemon Go Live blog post from October 22nd, 2021. November research breakthrough encounters are Vullaby. This is, remember, this is a research spawn, so minimum 10 IVs. You're not going to find a Great League one here.
No.
Unless you trade. But I think even then, is its level too high?
Yeah.
The only way you'd find a quote-unquote Great League one is finding the hundo for Vullaby and maxing out Vullaby.
Which is very possible with the box.
Yeah. So, I mean, look out for that. If you want to spend the XL candy on it.
I mean, there's been people that have been hatching the 12Ks for a while now.
It's pretty gross, man.
I mean, for anybody that's listening to us that's not a PvPer, this Pokemon is very, very valuable right now in PvP. As it both in Great League as its pre-evolution or its evolved form in either Great or Ultra League. Also, just because you don't get a good one doesn't mean you can't re-roll it with someone, because I guarantee you everybody's getting this out of their box. So there's going to be your casual local players or even other competitive players that'll be willing to trade it, because we all know you can't get the good IVs outside of a hundo, like Steven mentioned. So I think it's something you're still going to get regardless, because you want the end of the week items and Stardust. Just keep it for trading. Or, we have events coming up where you can trade it for more resources.
The Vullaby. Eric BN's also letting us know in the chat here, the twitch.tv/battlescience chat. You can join us for the live podcast recordings every other Tuesday. Eric is letting us know that this is the first time Vullaby can be Little Cup eligible. So it is a low enough rank that you can get a
below 500
CP Vullaby. So, but I think the ideal, at this point, IVs I don't think IVs matter like near at all within Little Cup. these days.
No,
because
you
there's
just
some
literally
things that
throw
just
anything.
very rarely get below 500
Yeah.
CP anyway. So
It's such a low ceiling that
yeah, I
you
think
gotta, as long as it's not like above 1,000 or 2,000 rating, it's probably pretty good.
yeah. I mean, even if it is above 2,000, it's something that's eligible within Little Cup. So
Yeah, and it's one of those ones you can't use the excuse you don't have it because they're giving it to you in a box.
Week 1 Pokecoin bundles. As previously, every Monday in November, a one-time purchase bundle containing a remote raid pass and other items will be available in the shop for 1 Pokecoin. Only acquisitionable if you have less than 5 remote raid passes, because you
I
can't
think it's
have
3.
more. I wasn't able to buy last week's, and I'm so far not able to buy this week's.
Just means you got to do a raid at least once.
Remote raid? What? No.
I mean, you use it or you lose it.
I guess. I mean, you're right. I guess is the wrong response for that. Featured Pokemon in raids, 5-star raids until Friday, November 5th. The mythical Pokemon Darkrai with an asterisk. What is that for? Darkrai caught during this period will know the attack Sludge Bomb. That's why. Friday, November 5th to Tuesday, November 16th. Cobalion, Terrakion, and Virizion. The Swords of Justice. Jesse sleeps. This new. What's the move?
Rest.
This news used yawn. It's super effective. Jesse fell asleep. And then Tuesday, November 16th to Wednesday, December 1st, Cresselia will be in 5-star raids. And Cobalion, Terrakion, and Virizion caught in November will have the attack Sacred Swords. It's a body slam clone, but it's fighting. Generally, that would mean really good things, but Cobalion, Terrakion, and Virizion are also just
Cheeks.
bad. So, yeah. What are you going to do? Mega Raids.
I am excited for the Cresselia, though.
Yeah, I mean, Cresselia's going to be back. It won't be back with Grassnot, though.
Nope.
You'll have to Elite TM that. Until Friday, November 5th, Mega Absol will be in Mega Raids. Friday, November 5th to Tuesday, November 16th, Mega Manectric will be in Raids. Will be gracing us with its presence once more. And Tuesday, November 16th to Wednesday, December 1st, Mega Lopunny will return to Mega Raids as well.
It's a long time for Mega Lopunny.
It's 2 weeks.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's about 2 weeks. So.
But so Manectric isn't gonna, because normally the theory we've had is the Mega helps beat the Legendary.
In this case, that is incorrect, because Mega Manectric, I think Mega Manectric is in here because of a certain event happening, and then Mega Lopunny, actually Mega Manectric and Mega Lopunny are in here because, no, actually I take that back. Mega Manectric is in because of the Festival of the Lights event.
Right.
Mega Lopunny is in 5-star raids because of the Diamond and Pearl remakes coming out.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Rather than to beat the 5-star raid boss, it's in here because
it's an event.
Other events corresponding.
And that makes sense with Absol too, because it was we just got through with the Halloween.
Because Cresselia would absolutely body Mega Lopunny.
Yeah.
Like that's lopsided. And then Cobalion,
Lopunny.
Cobalion, Terrakion, and Virizion, like Mega Manectric doesn't help there.
His hair doesn't hurt enough.
In any of those scenarios, it does not help.
He went Super Saiyan.
Mega Manectric is a Super Saiyan quadruped. Raid hours, of course, every Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. local times.
For the respective windows of what those are.
November 3rd, November 10th, and November 3rd, November 10th, and then November 17th and 24th.
For the Swords of Justice,
yes.
Is it going to be all 3 at once?
Yes.
Have fun.
Yeah, the least fun. I imagine. Is this the first time they're coming out with the Sacred Sword?
No.
Move? Okay.
Well, maybe on 2 of them. I know Cobalion had it.
I know Cobalion had it before as well, so.
It might be the first time for Terrakion and Virizion,
mm-hmm.
which still doesn't make either of them very relevant.
Yeah, within PvP, Eric is reminding us Terrakion is a good rock raid.
Yeah, for sure. Terrakion is a good
attacker.
rock PvEer.
Yeah, it might be worth grinding XLs. I mean, there's...
Because it's rock fighting.
If you want to
that's
spend
a really unique type.
Yeah, if you want to invest in the raid passes to grind that, that's doable.
That's true. That's a unique typing because it beats flying with the rock type.
Uh-huh.
It beats steel with the fighting.
Uh-huh.
It's still very weak to water, grass,
Yes.
psychic.
Uh-huh.
So it's not the best,
Very. Yeah.
but it's not an aggron.
Is it better than Aggron? It is a legendary. You would hope that the stats are
I
better.
mean, pre-mega, yes. Post-mega, what was it? We found out that aggron goes pure steel.
Yes. We did learn that Aggron goes pure steel. I don't remember where or when. Pokemon Spotlight Hours in the month of November. Pokemon Spotlight Hour will take place every Tuesday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. local time, and each will spotlight a different Pokemon and a special bonus. How do I say that this is unimpressive? Wait, I just did. Today, November 2nd, is Cacnea with 2 times Catch Candy, a.k.a. Meltan Spotlight Hour. November 9th, Chinchou with 2 times Transfer Candy, a.k.a. Clear Out Your Box. November 16th, Turtwig, 2 times Catch Stardust, which means if you have research rewards banked, catch them then. Or wait till a 3 times Catch Stardust, because that sometimes happens. Chimchar on November 25th, 2 times Catch XP. I believe we'll all sleep through that one, no issue. And then November 30th, Piplup, 2 times Catch Candy.
What was the Chimchar bonus?
2 times Catch XP.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I guess, but you'll transfer all those Chimchars immediately after.
So the first 2 make sense because they're event themed. Cacnea is the Dios de Muertos that we have going on currently.
You pronounce that differently every time you say it, I believe.
Do I?
I think so.
Dios or Dios?
Let me pull up the
I could have sworn it was Dios.
Dia de Muertos.
Dia.
Dia de Muertos.
As you can tell, I'm not a Spanish native.
I mean, neither am I.
But so I think that's what Cacnea is around for today. Festival Lights, the other upcoming event, will be for Chinchou.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other 3, the starters for Sinnoh, obviously for the Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl release coming up here within the month.
Mm-hmm.
Are any of those any good?
Not really. I mean, Chinchou.
Chinchou, I would definitely be excited for.
Lantern's incredibly prevalent.
It seems anytime it's allowed, it always makes a scene.
Uh-huh.
I have never seen a cup where it's allowed and it didn't perform well. As far as Silph themed cups in GBL, it's kind of a niche pick because Nidoqueen exists, and it is something that does take a minute to get up to its charge attacks. And Polion is still a very relevant Pokemon in Ultra League. It is also not the worst as a Rocket Pokemon, but again, all those Sinnoh starters do need their Community Day move to be preferably usable.
Mm-hmm. I'd have to really dive deep. I don't think there's really anything that would make Infernape any better than it is now, and it's not good now.
That was someone said that on our community question.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
Torterra.
Yes.
Torterra
needs Bullet Seed.
It needs Bullet Seed. There's some tweaking that can happen that would make Torterra play a little bit better.
It's just its typing kind of sucks.
Its typing kind of sucks, but there's gonna be a meta for it.
Yeah.
But its moveset is half there.
Yeah.
Its moveset's half there. And it does have bulk. It's just that the
having
dominance
that shared 4 times weakness to ice really sucks.
Yeah, the dominance of it's neutral to water.
Yeah. Neutral to water, neutral to other grass.
Mm-hmm. That there's
weak to flying.
Yeah, its moveset just needs to be a bit better before it can.
I mean, I think I mentioned it outside of the discussion here that it's the equivalent to Rhydon, Rhyperior, and Golem and Graveler from Kanto.
Mm-hmm.
They all are the ground rock types, and in Gen 1 that offered some really unique coverage, but everybody had an elemental on their team. So
And then Empoleon has had some good looks. I think the biggest thing is Metal. It's Metal Claw and
Waterfall
are its two fast moves.
Yep.
So if it either got another fast move or if Metal Claw got adjusted, we might be seeing a really good.
Yeah, Drill
good
Pick
option,
really
so.
helps it.
Yep. And then November Community Day. This was sort of, it was basically confirmed during the
Dev Diary.
The Dev Diary, as like, an electric type native to the Sinnoh region. Oh, hey, by the way, there's no other electric type that's native to the Sinnoh region within the Sinnoh dex.
What about Dynamo?
No, Dynamo is the next.
Was it the next gen?
Yeah, Dynamo is an X and Y. I looked.
Rotom.
We're not getting a Rotom Community Day. That's not how that's gonna work. I can guarantee it. That's not how that's gonna work. I guarantee it.
Okay.
The November Community Day is Shinx. It's on Sunday, November 21st from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. local time. Shinx will be appearing more frequently in the wild, a.k.a. this is the first time Shinx will ever appear in the wild outside of hatching from eggs and in raids. So this is...
It wasn't a Go Fest? Questions for later.
It wasn't in this last year's Go Fest.
No.
Maybe in a previous Go Fest or in a previous Safari Zone.
Maybe.
To my knowledge, this is the first time it's ever spawning in the wild.
Okay.
Please do somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Or yell at me, yell into your phone or computer as you're listening to this and be like, Steven, you're wrong. You're wrong.
Wrong.
I have one caught in the wild. Evolve Luxio, Shinx Evolution, during the event or up to 2 hours after to get a Luxray that knows the charge attack Psychic Fangs. I didn't even know that this move existed in the game until this announcement. Psychic Fangs, the stats haven't come out. I imagine those are probably going to come out like tomorrow because most announcements happen the day after we record a podcast.
Yeah, true.
But Psychic Fang, supposedly we're looking at a Poison Fang clone.
So a mid-range charge move with a debuff.
Yes. Which is good for Luxray, even though it doesn't really benefit a whole lot from it. But the prospect of a new Psychic type move does raise some additional questions. We'll get there in a moment. The benefit from Shinx's Community Day is a quarter hatch distance when eggs are placed in an incubator during the event period.
Jesse needs that very desperately.
I've got a lot of 10Ks. Problem is, I'm working. Yay! I had Sundays off for so long, and now the holidays are here. Let's see. Of course, lure modules activated during the event will last for 3 hours. Incense activated during the event will last for 3 hours. And take a few snapshots during Community Day for a surprise. The surprise is it's Shinx.
Photobomb Shinx.
Yep. To celebrate the last Community Day event of the year before the annual Big December Community Day event, 2 additional bonuses will be available during November Community Day. 3 times transfer candy and 4 times chance of earning Candy XL when transferring Pokemon. Oh!
Yeah, that's the one.
I didn't know that. I guess I'm waiting to transfer things until November 21st. I will set a reminder. Event bundles, etc. Community Day special research story, Flash, Spark, and Gleam. $1 get stuffs, the usual. I wanted to pull up Psychic Fang because Psychic Fang or Psychic Fangs, I'm gonna probably pronounce it Psycho Fangs on accident a couple of times. So, let's see.
In the main series games.
In the main series games, its effect is the user bites through the target with its psychic capabilities. This can also destroy light screen and reflect. This move will remove any reflect, light screen, aurora veil, or something else that is in play on the opponent's team.
It's like Brick Break.
Yes. It is a physical type move. The Pokemon that can learn it up to the most current gen, so Sword and Shield, by technical record. Growlithe family, Aerodactyl, Mew, Espeon, Steelix, Mawile, I get faster here, Electrike, Manectrike, Caravana, Sharpedo, Shinx, Luxio, Luxray, Lillipup, Herdier, Stoutland, Swoobat, Basculin, Tyrantrum, Lycanroc, Silvally, Solgaleo, Necrozoma, Greedent, Boltund.
Ew, Greedent with that could be gross.
Yeah, I imagine it's not going to get it, but we'll find out. Arrokuda, Barraskewda, Morpeko, Dracovish, Arctovish, Dracloak, Dragapult, Zacian, and Zamazenta. Let's see here. The biggest winners that could potentially get it, I would say Zacian, even though, it will have some play in the higher leagues, within Great League, where I think it would maybe be the biggest winner. It would help it out the most. But being a fairy type with poisons being as prevalent as they are currently, a Zacian with a psychic type.
Did you ever think you would be saying that?
What?
As relevant as poison types are? I think it was a year ago now. We were just...
Poison types needed a rework, and they have a rework now.
They got it. Now they're
Yeah.
everywhere.
By they, we mean Nidoqueen and Nidoqueen alone.
Well, Golbat.
Golbat was already relevant. It got better, but
Poison
almost
types.
all I
You
see
mean Nidoqueen?
are Nidoqueen, and then I see some Ariados, which I appreciate. Ariados wasn't relevant before, and now it is, and you love to see it.
Well, Poison Sting's rework combined with it got the cross poison buff.
Yep.
And it also has lunge.
Yep. Yeah, Ariados wasn't relevant at all before, and now it is.
They flipped a switch and went, spooters.
Yep. No, I appreciate that. Make more Pokemon relevant. Let's see. The other big winner here, go away ads. Luxray, I don't think really is a winner for having it. It allows for a bit more spam, but
We needed to give it a community move. What can we give it here? Just slap this on it.
have this.
Not as bad as Dusknoir with Shadow Ball.
These three here, Espeon, Steelix, and Mawile, are three that getting Psychic Fangs is beneficial for. Espeon with a bit more spam.
If we get a Poison Fang clone on Espeon, those confusions will start to add up really quick.
Let's see, Steelix as something that can help beat out the fighting. Also, if you load it up with Crunch and Psychic Fangs, you then have potential
debuffs.
Just debuffs going all over the
Right,
place.
but the Crunch is a %, where the Psychic Fangs, if assumingly it's a clone,
exactly,
it's going to be 100%.
And then Mawile for just a so weird type combo or move
For
combos.
Mawile, that's really good because it's relying on its Fang fast type moves, and that just helps it burn through things faster.
Arcanine can also get Psychic Fangs. I don't think Arcanine really benefits a whole lot from it. My biggest thing is Arcanine needs to just be a better fire type Pokemon.
It's a fire type that's not using fire type moves.
Yeah, it's Snarl, Wild Charge, Flamethrower, and Flamethrower. Realistically, I think Flamethrower's energy requirement could go down a little bit, and that would definitely help.
Right, but all three of those, Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, and Flamethrower, are the same damage and energy requirement.
Yeah. Yeah, but they've... I don't know. I just feel like...
There are those moves that are staples throughout every generation, and I feel like if Pokemon Go touches them in any way, they have to make them more balanced with one another. I think right now where they're putting them is they're just there. And I think if they were going, like I mentioned, if they were going to make adjustments, it's got to be balanced for all three of them because they're all such staple moves.
I don't think so. I don't think they all have to be adjusted because Flamethrower just isn't It's only used when it's
So
needed.
when I say Ice Beam,
Like-
what are the top 3 Pokemon you think that use it?
Azu, Mantine, and there was one other. I mean, Jellicent has it, but it's not always used on Jellicent.
What do all 3 of those Pokemon have?
Higher generating fast moves. Or
And
higher energy. Bulk.
that's why.
So yeah, flamethrower.
Because things with Flamethrower don't have the option for the bulk. The only thing that really comes to mind is Skunk Tank.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I think just Arcanine just needs to be a better fire type Pokemon.
I mean, we looked at the beginning of the show to see if they could get something like Flame Charge or what was the other one?
Incinerate.
But it doesn't.
Neither. This is in my mind the inclusion of Psychic Fang into the game then leads us to the
Potential Psychic type readjustment.
potential Psychic type readjustment. So each move does the whole community, or is it just us that calls them reworks? Move reworks.
Adjustments.
Or type reworks. The last large adjustment we got within the PvP meta was the poison types. So the type before that was grass, I believe,
That sounds right. Like as a major update.
as a major update. It was either grass or it was bug.
I think Bug was before Grass.
So usually, I mean, it's kind of a pattern of getting a type after a move. The move rework that happens, the next move rework is something that's super effective against it. So
Grass beat Bug. Bug beat Poison beat Bug.
it doesn't. It's not super effective.
No.
So
I mean, you also did see Fire rework a little bit. They brought in Incinerate.
I guess. I mean, I don't know really how
That's
much of
too
a
much
pattern there
deep
is.
diving down the rabbit hole.
Fingers crossed we get a Psychic type rework, because Zen Headbutt could use some work, like a lot of work. Like, please, Zen Headbutt is absolutely atrocious. Zen Headbutt could use a rework. More Pokemon could get Psychic Fang. We could be seeing a couple more adjustments within the Psychic type moveset. But if Psychic Fang gets into the game, then we could see other Pokemon with it, and that's why we're looking at this here.
And
So-
there's quite a few things that would get Psychic Fang, but I think using Luxray as a guinea pig is a great way for them to test it out.
Even though Luxray, I don't think like it's gonna be out, but it's gonna be like.
Right. At least they're not throwing it on something that would make it incredibly relevant, like Steelix or.
But this almost makes it incredibly irrelevant.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember what the community was, where it was like you're only Duskull. You're only playing this for the
the bonus.
the bonus Stardust. Like a Shadow Ball Dusclops is not gonna like come into PvP. I mean, unless people are like, I'm gonna try this in PvP, and then realize, oh, this isn't good, or
It'll depend
No.
on how people run it, because if they run it with Snarl, Psychic Fang's Wild Charge, and you get that perfect, if you get that debuff, and then they have to either resort to second shielding in the lead matchup, or you just obliterate them with Wild Charge. It makes it more bait dependent. But yeah, Shinx Community Day.
Yep. There are a couple of other events coming up in November. The Dia de Muertos event is almost over. We have an hour left as of me talking about it now. It was a November 1st to November 2nd Dia de Muertos, a handful of bonus spawns, etc. So hopefully you got a couple of good Sableye. Or at least we're getting more candy for Sableye. And I'm trying to think of what else was relevant.
A non-raid IV Marowak.
Yes, non-raid IV Marowak.
AWAC, to be specific. Alolan
Alolan
Marowak.
Marowak, yep.
You also had some Houndour spawning, some Roselias, Sunkern, which jokingly we were talking about last night. It's like, what if that was relevant?
It's not. That is something that is not in our notes here. I guess, I mean, I would have passed it up because neither of us have tickets for it. Let me pull up the article for
Yeah,
it.
we haven't talked about the same. I didn't put it in the notes because we haven't talked about the events because we haven't been participating in them.
Which doesn't mean we shouldn't talk about them.
Well, Steven, you need to clarify because the last 2 times I asked you about those, that's the answer you gave me.
Was it?
Yes.
Well, I mean, for the people that are, I don't think that's what I would have said.
Yes, because it was for the one that was in Europe and the one that was in Philly. I asked you both times if you wanted to cover it, and you said we're not going, so it doesn't matter.
I don't think that's exactly what I said.
Anyway.
We should at least reference the, what's it called?
The Safari Zone events?
The relevant spawns.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I would have referenced it like that. Maybe was it because we already covered it in the past?
I don't think so.
I don't know. Eric, can you grab a... I'm trying to look for the link for the St. Louis Safari Zone. And I don't see anything off the blog post just yet. Do you have... If you have a link for something, go ahead and send it to me and I'll pull it up here. But we're going to go over to the Festival of Lights. Dedenne. A little 6-inch mouse Pokemon makes an illuminating debut during the Festival of Lights, but with light comes shadow. Festival of Lights, November 5th through November 14th. Trainers, the time has come for light to overcome the dark with the much-anticipated debut of Dedenne, the antenna Pokemon. This electric and fairy-type Pokemon, originally found in Kalos region, will help illuminate your Pokedex as electric-type Pokemon begin to appear more frequently in the wild. As trainers may be familiar with, the Festival of Lights is a time to rediscover and strengthen bonds with all those around you. Festival of Lights from Friday, November 5th at 10 a.m. to Sunday, November 14th at 8 p.m. local time unless otherwise noted. Event bonuses. Happiness, friendships, and heartfelt gifts add joy to any celebration. Amid all the happiness and glee of the Festival of Lights, strengthen friendships and spread the joy of giving in Pokemon Go. Friendship levels will increase twice as fast. Gifts will provide increased rewards. You'll be able to open up to 45 gifts per day.
That excites me.
I don't open gifts.
I know. I do.
Very often. Sometimes I do. The Season of Mischief story continues. Continue to follow the Season of Mischief storyline focused on the mythical Pokemon Hoopa. If you complete the season's special research story, you'll gain access to a special event at the end of the season that might have something to do with Hoopa. I hope it has something to do with Hoopa. Can you imagine if they're like, it's Shaman, surprise. That would be weird. Can you form a better bond with Hoopa and help Professor Willow explore its past? More awaits as you learn about the mischievous Hoopa. Fireworks. The Festival of Lights deserves a grand display, so you'll be able to enjoy fireworks in Pokemon Go during the first few days of the event as trainers around the world celebrate the Festival of Diwali. I'm going to sneeze.
Excuse you. One more?
Nope. Pokemon Debut. Dedenne makes its debut in Pokemon Go. Originally discovered in the Kalos region, Dedenne will debut in Pokemon Go during the Festival of Lights. The electric and fairy type will no doubt be a cute addition to your Pokedex.
As of right now, we still don't know what moves it'll have.
We know nothing. It is slightly chunky, so who knows? Maybe it's okay. Wild encounters. As trainers light the way for one another, certain Pokemon will appear in the wild to help. The following Pokemon will be appearing more frequently in the wild: Pikachu, Magnemite, Slugma, Whismur, Electrike, Blitzel, Cottonee, Dynamo, Fennekin, and Dedenne. If you're lucky, you might encounter the following: Darumaka and Litwick. No new shinies here. Field research task encounters. The following Pokemon will be available to encounter when you complete field research tasks. Vulpix, Magnemite, Electabuzz, Magmar, Electrike, Blitzel, Darumaka, and Litleo.
So there's your...
If you're lucky, you might encounter the following Dedenne. Vulpix is in field research task encounters and hopefully is not exclusively in field research task encounters. I am shaking my head. I do still need to catch Electabuzz and Magmar from last year's
That's what I was going to
Community
mention.
Day.
Is there's some people that didn't finish it because they weren't able to find Electabuzz and Magmar because we were just flooded with. I mean, they were on hourly timers.
Yeah, or you just so happened to miss it,
Yeah.
like me. I think I had to work or something.
So that'll be helpful for those people. So once those research come out and Silph puts out what they're behind, I would suggest catching or getting those
Hunting.
researches as you can.
Yep. Yes.
I imagine it'll be something. If it's Electabuzz and Magmar, hold on.
Catch electro types and catch fire types.
No, I feel like those would be 1 GBL.
Really? Ew.
They're the mid-tier kind of powerhouse Evos. Think like I want to say it was Hitmonchan and Hitmonlee were in the same type of boat for a while, where it was win a GBL match and that was the reward.
I need 15 Magmar and I need 13 Electabuzz for my research.
Oof.
Yeah. They haven't spawned in the wild.
Just like Vulpix.
Just like Vulpix. Hasn't spawned in the wild. That nest that we have is absolutely trash. I caught 2 while I was there for like 40 minutes eating lunch.
I'm
Like nothing.
sorry. What do you want me to tell you?
I don't know. I hope Vulpix nests at a better nest.
Not like we would know. People don't report it.
Yeah. It's eligible for shiny, and I don't have the shiny, and I don't have the hundo, and it's my favorite Pokemon. Let me just complain a little bit. Sorry. Let me just vent. Raids. 1-star raids. Charmander, Vulpix, Chinchou, Litwick, and Dedenne.
There you go, Steven. 1-star Vulpix raids.
3-star raids. Alolan Raichu, Electabuzz, Magmar, Bellossom.
That's interesting. I don't think Belossom's been a raid boss before.
I couldn't tell you. 5-star raids.
And that's an item Evo, too.
Yes. If you don't want to use a Sunstone, you can get it from a raid.
I'm being serious. I think that's unique. That's a unique raid.
All I can do is shrug.
I know.
I don't know. 5-star raids, Cobalion, Tracheon, Virizion, and Mega raids, Mega Manectric. Eggs.
Things like Kingdra, Steelix, and Sizor have never been raids, have they?
Kingdra, Steelix, Sizor. I feel like Sizor has.
Was
But I
Sizor
don't
raids
think
or Rocket?
I don't think Steelix has. Sizor has not been in Rockets.
Yeah, it has.
Sizor?
Or no, I'm thinking Scyther.
Scyther has. Caesar has not.
Okay.
I know Onyx has been in raids, and I don't think I've seen. It wouldn't surprise me if Horsey's been in raids. It's also in Shadows, but Kingdra I don't think has either.
Okay.
Let's see. 7K eggs, most commonly you can get Alolan Geodude, Chinchou, and Pichu. Medium tier rarity you can get Vulpix. No, let me rephrase that. Is this by? Oh, 1 egg being most common and 5 eggs being the most rare. Why is it like this? So 3 egg rarity, Magby and Elekid, and
because
they
don't want to put out percentages.
The most rare is Budew.
Again, another event where 7Ks just
don't.
suck.
Yeah, don't matter. Cool. A celebration in India. India only. Trainers in India can enjoy a brighter evening on Sunday, November 7th from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. local time. Blitzel and Dedenne will be appearing more frequently in the wild with 2 times catch candy. New avatar items and stickers. This shirt actually looks pretty sick. Visit the shop during the event for a free Festival of Lights t-shirt inspired by the celebrations in India. You'll also be able to light up your avatar with Dedenne inspired avatar items. A backpack pouch thing that's pretty adorable.
That's akin to the anime.
A beanie, Dedenne head beanie, and Dedenne tongued shoes. It's a Dedenne head on the tongue of the high tops, which is goofy, but also pretty adorable. So, and then Dedenne stickers. Nothing but Dedenne stickers. I hope you like Dedenne. It's all of the stickers. With light comes shadow. It seems Festival of Lights event and Professor Willow's research into Hoopa might have caught Team Go Rocket's attention. Reports indicate that Team Go Rocket plans to strike on Tuesday, November 9th, 2021. Stay tuned, trainers. More info to come, but you can use a charge TM to help shadow Pokemon forget the charge attack frustration. Team Go Rocket members will be appearing significantly more frequently at Pokestops and in balloons. So all we know is Tuesday, November 9th, we'll have a period of time where we can charge TM away frustration, which is the first time we've had that in 5 months.
Yep.
A while. And then Team Go Rocket members will be appearing significantly more frequently in Pokestops and in balloons. All it says is Tuesday. We might be... It's interesting that the with light comes shadow. It's November 9th dash question marks. So that might continue for another few days.
A couple of things to take away from this. And again, this particular announcement was just, yesterday or?
Just yesterday. This is November 1st.
So 2 things from the Rocket. 1, save the date, November 9th. Get your stuff tagged if it's something you want to keep and TM frustration away off of. And then 2, they didn't state if we'd be getting new stuff added to pools. We haven't seen the leaders change their Pokemon for a while, so this might be a new one. So if you are holding on to a radar and you do want to catch maybe one more Sneasel or something else that one of the leaders might have featured, either use it now, because once those rockets start coming more frequently, you're going to get more rocket pieces anyway. But I imagine there might be a new event tied in with that, because like you said, it's November 9th dash question mark.
It could be till the end of the event on November 14th, but we don't know.
So take that with a grain of salt if you want to use the radar you have or hold on to it in hopes that they get something better.
I'm looking for... Here we go. Pokemon Go Safari events. We're looking at St. Louis. Here we go. It's going to redirect me to the blog. And it redirects me directly back to the... redirects me back to the same article. Cool. Yeah, do we have Eric or anyone else? Oh, wait. I have a DM from Eric. There it is. Official spawn pool. Oh, Cerebi has the deets. Thank you, Cerebi. I appreciate Cerebi a lot. All right, before we get into the meta-analysis, let's jump into a little bit of details from the Safari Zone St. Louis. From March 27th to the 29th. Physical location in St. Louis, Missouri. If you have tickets, you can remotely access the spawns from anywhere in the world. If you haven't purchased a ticket already, you are unable to purchase a ticket at this point, much to our own chagrin. Increase spawns for the event are Bulbasaur, Pikachu, Jigglypuff, Oddish, Mankey, Machop, Unknowns, actually St. Louis, basically, or St. Louis. Actually, it's the full St. Louis. It's just S pulls double duty here. For those of you that play Wheel of Fortune. Is it Wheel of Fortune? Where you spell the things?
Yeah.
Yeah. Teddiursa, Roselia, Trapinch, Turtwig, Chatot, Snivy, Throw, Carablast, Fungus, Ferroseed, and Shelmet. It is not new for this event, but Teddiursa and Ursaring in their green shiny forms. The only shiny forms they have, but it is very green. Like, I cannot understate how green this is. I guess that would have been announced or would have been released for this event when it initially would have launched before the pandemic, or partway into the pandemic at this particular instance. No, March 27th through March 29th, 2020. So I read the wrong dates. The makeup dates are November 12th, 13th, and 14th. So yeah, this has got delayed because of the pandemic. Let me go to special research. Read it if you want. I won't spoil it, but it's 2 pages and it's some sick items. Let's see. Chatot has some viability, but it's primarily an acquisition for a regional. So if you don't have a Chatot already, I think your biggest winner here for wild spawns, at least in my experience, is going to be Ferroseed.
Ferroseed, Mankey, and Carablast.
Yes. Carablast will evolve into the Escavalier. Ferroseed into Ferrothorn, and Mankey into Primeape. Machop will have some play here. A handful of these, actually, quite a lot of these are actually pretty.
Coming back this December, assuming that it's a community day rerun.
True. I can't imagine it's anything different. So Bulbasaur. Most of these are, most if not all. What's the realistic? I'm gonna name the things that aren't really PvP relevant. Unknown. Ursaring has some play, so catch some Teddy Ursa. And Chatot's not super relevant. Fungus and Shelmet. Those are the things that aren't super relevant. I mean, who knows what's the Shelmet's evolution? Excelgor. It's a speed-based Pokemon in the main series games, which means its stats are very underwhelming. I'm so whelmed. So incredibly whelmed. So who knows? Maybe it gets some whack moves and becomes like a spicy meatball.
It
but
dies and 3 incinerates.
Exactly. Currently. Yes. Safari's in St. Louis. If you have a ticket, sick. If you don't have a ticket, join the club. Jesse's tired. He's a sleepy boy. Shh. We can't be too loud.
All right.
Jesse's a sleepy boy.
Do I get to cover this one?
Give me 1 second.
Welcome to the meta-analysis.
It's time. Are you ready to rumble? I hope I don't get sued for that.
Welcome to November. Welcome to the Silph Arena Brawler Cup. What is the Brawler Cup besides being probably one of the most hype AF looking formats? Well, it is a new challenge beginning now on November 1st. And with the new challenge, a new chance to prove your skills and increase your global rank in your playing ranking. The Brawler Cup follows the same basic rules as all Silph Arena Global Cups, but this month it comes with a special twist. Here's what you need to know. Brawler Cup, what is it? Each month, the Silph Arena holds a month-long themed PvP tournament.
Yep.
That provides 10,000s of trainers around the world with specifically designed competitive. Again, I am reading this verbatim from the Silph Arena website announcement of Brawler Cup. Here's the TLDR. If you want to check out the whole article yourself, it's there for you to check out. This is a whitelist format. For those that don't understand what that means, there are certain Pokemon you can use, and that's it. If you don't see the Pokemon on the whitelist, guess what? You can't use it. This is a direct, not necessarily a direct copy of Prismatic Cup from last season, where the format was pick a color, 6 different colors, and that's your team. This one is focused on different weight classes. There are 6 different weight class categories, and each one has different Pokemon within them. For the Brawler Cup rules, you have to make a team of 6, and it's traditional Silph Arena. Choose 6, pick 3, or
Great.
show 6, pick 3.
Great League.
Great League, and for this format, you have to pick 6 different weight classes. Those weight classes are as follows: Bantamweight, which is your slot 1, considerably your smaller,
Very light.
Pokemon.
As listed by their weight on Bulbapedia.
Slot 2 is going to be your featherweight, which is the not lightest but still light. Slot 3 is your welterweight, so your mid-class.
Mhm.
I mean, I guess if we were to break this into terms of like Mario Kart, your lightweights would be Toad in Princess Peach. Your middleweights would be Mario and Luigi. Sorry, I've been playing a lot of Mario Kart 64.
I mean, Smash has similar, like, but
True.
it's like,
True.
was it light, middle, and heavy?
Yeah.
So
That's kind of what they go for here. Slot 4 is your middleweight.
mhm.
Slot 5 is your cruiserweight, and then slot 6 is your heavyweight. Now, we're going to kind of break down. This gets confusing.
Yeah, go look at the whitelist so that you're not super confused. It's silph.gg/cup/brawler. It looks confusing.
It is a bit overwhelming.
It is definitely a bit overwhelming when you're looking at it first. Team building in this meta is it looks really complicated. It's not quite as bad as it's not.
The number of Pokemon you see on the whitelist can make it overwhelming.
Mm-hmm.
But if you were to go in and use a resource tool like PvPoke with their team builder, or any of the friendly articles that people put out, like JRE puts out for Nifty or Thrifty, which bless him for what he did for this month. I can't imagine that was easy having to cover such a wide variety. But if you look at this whitelist and go, circle everything you have seen in GBL or in a Silph Cup in the past year or two, that list that you see on your screen gets incredibly smaller.
It shrinks.
So I think, did you want to jump into a PvPoke team builder so we can kick this off?
Yes, I don't have that up. Sorry, let me pull it.
For those of you who are participating in Silph Arena or would like to find a way to participate, feel free to join our Discord. This Sunday, November 7th at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we will be holding a 4-friendly, unranked, live practice Brawler Cup tournament. What that means is over a period of hopefully an hour or less, we have 15 to 20 minute round timers. You get put against another person after you've built your team of 6. You both play against each other. You pick 3, they pick 3, and you duke it out in the ring. And whoever comes out on top moves on. I mean, you both technically move on because it's a Swiss format, so you'll be placed against other people each round. But long and short of what I'm saying is, if you're looking for a way to practice teams, to see what works, to see how Silph works, feel free to jump in our Discord, jump on our Twitter, tag us, add us, email us, whatever you need to do. Most of the podcast descriptions do come with a link to the Discord. And if you have an issue trying to find it, you can always find us on battle@_science on Twitter and contact us that way. But if you would like to try out this crazy meta or try out PvP in general, feel free to welcome to join us this Sunday for the practice. And if you are someone that plays Silph Arena every month, we will also have our monthly long rank tournament later on this month once we decide what day we're going to start on. Because with the holidays coming up, people are going to get busy. People are going to have things going on.
I think it's middle of next week is, I think, the leader in that poll.
Yes. So let's step into the ring, Steven. What are we looking at on PvPoke?
Do you want like the top rankings?
Yeah.
Diggersby XL.
You need to speak up, son.
Diggersby XL wins.
Oh, Diggersby.
Diggersby XL wins. That's it. Let's go home. Shutting it down. All right, hold on. Transition. All right, guys. We'll catch you later. I gotta walk the dog. I'm kidding. Nope. Hold on. Sorry.
Steven did himself.
The intro's playing. There we go. Intro's not playing.
Wow.
That's going to mess up next week's episode, probably. Actually not. It's not going to mess up next week's episode. Diggersby XL is slot 1, and that's just because it's thick. It's a chonker. How many other weird phrases of a thick boy can I call it?
Big chungus.
In odd ways of phrasing. Yeah, if you have a Diggersby, consider using it. It's big. It's got great moves. Well, pretty reasonable moves. It's real thick, and yeah, it puts in some work. Of course, we're taking PV Poke. The rankings are not final. These aren't the 10 Commandments carved in stone by the PvP gods. This is based on matchups in
The one shield scenario.
in a lead matchup where both Pokemon start off with the same amount of max health, no bonuses, no buffs, both shields, all of that stuff. No energy. So take the rankings with a bit of a grain of salt. In practice, they're going to run a little bit different.
I think a majority of this cup is going to be taken a little bit different. When you look at these numbers, the top 5 are going to be Diggersby, Machamp, Shadow, Zweilius, Whiscash, and Dragalge.
Mm-hmm.
All of those perform really well in a lead position
Mm-hmm.
and with nothing hindering them. This cup is so crazy because there are many different ways you can approach it. So don't let the overall ranking and performance overwhelm you when you're team building. Don't think, oh, just because Diggersby has a 95.8 score means that consistently it's going to be a 95.8.
There's a lot of relevant fighting here that will give Diggersby problems.
Yeah.
So
Especially Shadow Machamp.
yes.
And with a Rocket event TM coming up, we'll probably see quite a bit more Shadow Machamps. The benefit Machamp not needing the legacy move particularly from its community day to be relevant. So kind of quickly going off of the top 10 here. Diggersby, Machamp, Zweilius, Whiscash, Dragalge, and Vigoroth. Each of those are going in a different slot, some of them overlapping. So like Diggersby and Vigoroth both taking the slot 3.
Mm-hmm.
Dragalge and Zweilius taking the slot 4. Whiscash coming in at slot 2 and Machamp coming in at slot 5. So from those top 6, if you were to pair any of them, I would say Machamp and Diggersby might make a decent team. But that's, again, just from the top performers. But if we look at something like what JRE has posted and something that we discussed the other day,
JRE 47 or JRE Seawolf, depending on which platform you're looking at. The Nifty or Thrifty for Silph Arena Brawler Cup. I was just giving context.
oh, okay.
I didn't mean
I was going to say, it was kind of going to tie into what we discussed the other day when we were talking about how you should approach building your team.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, you coming at it with, this is incredibly overwhelming with how many options there are. JRE kind of breaks it down and says, choose a core and kind of build that. And I think that's kind of what we went into this cup once we heard the announcement is my immediate thought was, oh, this is an ABB tournament. For context, ABB are your main pick that you're running. So in this instance, let's take Vigoroth, since it just performs very well in this cup, given its inclusivity. Pair it with something that supports it really well, and then fill the team with whatever bench pressure you need.
Cofagrigus.
Yes. So the standard from what has been discussed is Vigoroth and Cofagrigus, both fairly common in the past events within the last month or so. Excuse me. Vigoroth running the counter body slam bread and butter build. The second move is discretional for what you need for your team. You can run them with Brick Break or you can run them with Bulldoze. I think in this format, I prefer Brick Break just for the damage against other things. Bulldoze does give a little bit more options as far as coverage, but one of the things I noticed in our Brawler Cup practice tournament was I would say 7 of the 10 players had a Golbat. And if you're running Vigo, that doesn't do anything. So you're just hoping body slams get through. So with Vigoroth running counter, let's say counter body slam, bulldoze, and then Kofagrigus running Shadow Claw, Shadow Ball, and I believe it's Dark Pulse in this format, because Psychic really only benefits you if you're fighting against fighting types or poison, which in this instance, Shadow Ball takes care of this fighting, and I think Dark Pulse does good enough against the poisons. So Psychic's not really a great option unless you're relying on getting that percentile debuff from Psychic. But the reason why they recommend running Kofagrigus and Vigoroth is Vigoroth's biggest weaknesses are either fighting, ghost types, flying types, and fairy, which Kofagrigus doesn't really give any cares about those other types, because it either, one, incredibly walls against those types, or two, is super effective against those. But in the same vein, another really popular bulky pick for this format will be Sableye, which in theory Sableye should beat Kofagrigus, but it actually comes down to, I believe, a below 600 rating matchup between the two of them. So if you can't afford a Sableye, which also is a different slot number than Kofagrigus, so that is something to take in consideration. If you can't afford a Sableye for this format, Kofagrigus is a good alternative. And I think that's what we were looking at for you was, I think you said you had enough for a Sableye. Maybe now, even after the event that we just had.
Let me check.
But Kofagrigus Sableye is a very strong core. And if we go with just that core, you have two of your main three picks for every fight you go into, because they cover each other's backs and nothing really beats them both solidly or safely. And that's kind of what you want to do in these type of formats, is have two or three things that you really, really want to use a lot of that cover each other very well. And then just fill your bench with other things that either, one, create pressure enough just from them being on that screen that they don't want to use a certain Pokemon, or have it as a safe, in my case, I call it a martyr, but other people call it a safe swap.
I have a rank 54 Purified Sableye.
Okay.
It needs to be at level 48.
First of all, I hate you.
What?
I can't get one below rank 200.
Oh, really?
I mean, to get a Purified Sableye right now is you have to encounter the Dark Rocket, because the Ghost one's no longer available.
And then hope to get the second
It's the
Pokemon.
second. Yeah. It's the second one in the line.
Well,
so.
hope that you get not a Mightyena and that you get a Sableye, and then hope you get the Sableye as the reward.
And then hope that you get the red IVs.
Exactly. It's a hope on a prayer.
Yeah.
So, this one, when did I get this one?
Which Niantic, please fix. Sableye may not be the best, but the fact that it has to have return to be relevant.
I got this mid-May. So I got this a little while ago.
Yeah.
Let's see. It needs to be level 48. Should I just purify it now? Just so I know what my cost is? I only have 43 Sableye candy, so I have nowhere near enough Sableye XL candy.
Okay, 43 XL. I was going to be like,
yeah.
how did you only have 43
I have
900,
972 Sableye candy.
Well, you got some rare candy.
I have some rare candy, which I don't think I have to worry too much about. And then I have a bunch of Sableye that I can transfer, but if I'm looking for XL candy, I'll wait till
that event.
Wait till Shinx's community day. So Vigo, Kofagrigus, and then if you wanted to add Sableye as a third, it's not a bad option. The one thing to note is a Vigo Kofagrigus core can be countered by Sableye. So Sableye is the core breaker between those two. So depending on if you're wanting to start with, your initial thought was this meta was Vigo and friends, and you're not entirely wrong.
No.
But there's a lot more options to it and a bit more nuance to that.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to run a Vigo Kofagrigus core, because it's gonna be common.
On paper, they provide good numbers.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't say the right numbers.
Yeah.
They just are decent.
They provide good numbers. It's a pretty reasonable place to start as far as team building. But if you think you're going to run into a lot of that, running a Sableye is a reasonable
Running a
response.
Sableye on your main team ensures that you have a check for some of the more popular combinations.
Mhm.
Again, Sableye is one of the big budget picks, though. Can you run it without return? Sure. Will it give you the same numbers? No.
Yep, it is not a inexpensive pick. So, this runs as a very spicy Great League, just because of the way you have to team build.
Yes.
But there's a lot of options available. Some of your marquee options are not available. So
like
things
Nidoqueen's not available.
Azumarill's not available. I don't believe Altaria is available, and
Nope.
Altaria would be loving this. Swampert, not available. Let me see.
A lot of your main GBL picks are going to be coming out of slot 3. So you have Pidgeot, you have Galvantula, Alolan Marowak. Clefable is not one that you would probably hear a lot, but Clefable is unique in the way that is one of the few pure fairy types other than Slurpuff or Aromatisse in slot 3 that also has anti-fairy moves on it. Help me out here. What are some other high priority slot 3 picks?
You've got Beedrill. You've got
Beedrill's in slot 3.
Primeape.
Primeape is solid.
Muck, but not Alolan Muck.
Cantonian Muck.
Cantonian Muck. You do have Alolan Grimer, Alolan Marowak. Diggersby is here in slot 3. Obstagoon is in slot 3. Frostlass is here.
Politoed, Noctowl, Ariados.
Toxicroak. Toxicroak is a great generalist.
Yes.
The Swiss Army knife here. Skuntank is also here as a pretty reasonable generalist.
Escavalier, I think you mentioned that.
I did not mention Escavalier.
Okay. Another one that also kind of breaks the core mold, Gligar or Gliscor.
Mm-hmm.
Because it walls against Vigo, it walls against Diggersby, and it has Night Slash for the ghosts.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want something that's kind of out there and off, either Gligar or Gliscor. Gligar is, I think, a tier 2 pick, though, so you can play around with that. Checking really quick. Gligar. Because I know Gliscor is 3. Is Gligar a 4? That'd be kind of... Yeah. Wow. Gligar is a middleweight.
It's heavier than Gliscor.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's weird. I mean, it's Pokemon. Who knows, man?
Yeah. But yeah, so this is going to be on paper a little overwhelming when it comes with team building. What was it that I ran? I'm going to send you the link so you can open it up on stream. The team that I ran for my practice cup. Let me find it really quick here.
Houndoom for Ultra League, yay or nay?
Nay.
Okay. Not keeping the one that I have here. I'm just looking through stuff because my box is full.
It's just so much Machamps and so much things like Empoleon.
It's not worth. I'm waiting.
I got it right here. I'm copying it. Sending to aBoyInTheWoods. So this is the one that I threw together for my practice team in literally 15 minutes. Off of just, this seems like it would work. And it worked. It also had pretty impressive rankings.
Sylveon, Diggersby, Mantine, Alolan Muck, Rainy Cast Form, and Machamp. in not the correct order.
It won't reorganize them.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I can't click and drag. That's unfortunate. With a coverage of A, bulk, safety, and consistency of all of B, and a threat score of 615, according to PvPoke. Solid. There's your typings, all of your effectivenesses.
Oh, wait. Change Sylveon for Wigglytuff.
Oh.
I ran Wigglytuff over Sylveon.
Wigglytuff, Charm, Ice Beam, Play Rough?
Yep.
Save changes. Right team. A, B, B, B. Coverage, bulk, safety, and consistency, respectively. 615, so I think you dropped 2 threat score points.
Yep.
So that's not too bad.
But I think I went with Wigglytuff over Sylveon just because Wigglytuff can wall against the Ghost and is still only neutral to Vigo. Plus, I just like my rank 5 shiny Wiggly.
I don't blame you.
So, in my practice cup, I led with Mantine every time.
Mm-hmm.
And if you scroll down a little bit, you can respectively see why with Mantine.
Semifierce Steelix, Cofagrigus, Dugong, Sableye, Talonflame, Frostlass, Snowy Castform are all close losses.
What's the second to last column one?
Huh?
On the team there of the 6, what's number 5?
This one?
Yeah.
Rainy Castform.
That and it were my two paired the most.
Mantine and Rainy Castform?
Because they both cover each other's weaknesses. And then anything I needed to cover for both of them. So if they had an electric type, I ran Diggersby. If they had a grass type, usually Mantine could handle it. But if they didn't, Wigglytuff was also a decent option, or Machamp. Just hit it very hard.
For neutral.
The only thing I did notice halfway through my tournament, though, was Wigglytuff and Machamp kind of both do the same thing as far as beating dark types in the format. But the trade-off was Wigglytuff could also beat the dragons and Machamp could beat the steels. So I need to find that balance between the two of them, which Diggersby kind of does. But again, Diggersby's still weak to the fighting. So Diggersby Mantine was a very big core for me in this cup, because they do the same thing with Cofagrigus and Vigoroth. They both complement each other very well. The benefit for Mantine is if I led it with Bubble Beam, if I led with it, it had the Bubble Beam pressure to either keep them in on their lead or to swap out to remove the debuff. I would say 80% of my matches were Golbat lead. And with the Golbat lead versus the Mantine, it came down to who called the bluff on Golbat's Shadow Ball or on Mantine's Ice Beam.
Okay.
Because if you led with the debuff move and you fired it as soon as you got it, the opponent knew you were going to use... I knew they were going to use Poison Fang, and vice versa, they would know if I was going to use Bubble Beam. But if we both raced to the charge move, the bigger charge move, at that point it became who's going to call whose bluff first. Because if I called Shadow Ball wrong, it wouldn't kill Mantine, but the next Poison Fang would.
Okay.
And if I didn't shield, I should say. And then if I did shield and it was a Poison Fang, the next Shadow Ball would kill anyways. So that matchup came down to a draw, more or less, in the right scenarios. The benefit was if I predict wrong on the first attack and it was Shadow Ball, Mantine wouldn't die. But if I waited to see what they fired off first, I could then call, do I use Ice Beam now or do I use Bubble Beam, and how much do they want to keep in that Golbat? Does that make sense? So for me, I think Mantine was my safe lead. It's also something that it really only fears electric and rock, which in this cup is going to be either Galvantula. I think Crustle is an option in one of the tiers. I want to say the 5th slot. Crustle, Probopass Steelix could be an issue if it's got Thunderfang, but I think most people are going to be running a Dragon Tail. And there's a few others that Mantine fears, but for the most part, Mantine's running, by the way, Wing Attack, Ice Beam, Bubble Beam. If it comes across a fighting type in the front, it resists it because of its flying, and Wing Attack is super effective against it if it is a pure fighting type. So like if I see a Shadow Machamp, I can potentially bait it down with Bubble Beam or even just Ice Beam. I just have to watch out for the Rock Slide. Electric types, I think, in this are Galvantula, Lantern, Rainy Cast Form with Thunder. Are you looking at the rocks?
I was looking at what slot Crustal's in. Crustal's in slot 6.
So it's a heavyweight. Okay.
Yeah.
Mantine also takes neutral from the ices too. So things like the Frostlass matchup or the Lapras matchup. I mean, Lapras ideally not so much because it can just bulk through most of what I do. But I might stick with that team for our ranked tournament because all of those picks for me were my comfort picks. Because I've played with Machamp before, I've played with Mantine before, I've played with Wiggly. I think the only new one was Diggersby.
Yeah, all of these look like pretty core players for quite a while.
Oh, and Amok. I brought Amok just because fairies exist.
Yeah.
And I think that was my answer to fairies.
Yeah, I think like this meta is definitely one that you're looking for coverage and then running something you're familiar with and you know your type matchups, because this is less of a specialized and more of a generalized meta. Having familiarity and running your like a team of 3 within GBL, building a team of 6 of Pokemon you're familiar with and have run through GBL with are going to be incredibly helpful. That you'll know your matchups. It'll have run against your core of your team will have run against numerous other matchups that you'll probably see here in this meta.
Yeah. So like we can't tell you run Diggersby, run Cofagrigus, run these 3 because they do the best, because if it's not something you're comfortable with, I wouldn't highly suggest it. But that's why we have these things like the practice tournaments. No 2 opponents are going to be the same in this cup because it's so diversified. Everybody's going to have something different. I mean, sure, we're only a day into the cup, and the cup stats that we've seen so far, I think it was Machamp was dominating, wasn't he?
28%. Most commonly faced species. So Machamp at 28%, Vigoroth at 19%, Sableye at 17%, Cofagrigus at 12%, Diggersby at 11%, Lapras at 11%, and then it keeps going down. So
of those top 4, Machamp, Vigoroth, Sableye, and Cofagrigus, 2 counter users, 2 Ghostus types. Honestly, the 2 Ghosts are beating the 2 top performers. Sableye beating potentially all of them.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a tight meta. And I think with some of your core performers, like you would see normally, I think like Altaria, your Swampert, your Azumarill would be at the top of this list, but thankfully they're banned, and so a lot of that is going to adjust. So,
and that allows things like Machamp to be relevant. Now, one thing that the Silph Arena site does not show us is Machamp can run either regular or Shadow.
It's true. The Shadows are allowed in this meta, and they're not distinguished in the cup data. So it's a matter of preference, familiarity, and knowing your wins and losses.
Yeah, because a regular Machamp might be able to survive a couple of attacks from Cofagrigus, where a Shadow can't survive potentially 2 Shadow Balls, where I think even a regular probably doesn't survive a Shadow Ball. But it's the same like when it comes down to the Vigoroth matchup. I think 2 body slams kills an unshielded Machamp even though it resists it for Shadow, whereas a regular might be able to get to 3 body slams before it dies. So looking at your individual matchups and seeing... So one thing I particularly like to do in the PvPoke simulators is I'll put regular and shadow versions of whatever I want to think of running next to each other and seeing overall which one performs better and then why they're performing better or how they're performing better. So like, I think the one that I was recently looking at was Abomasnow for this cup, because Abomasnow is allowed and it is a spammy boy with Powdered Snow Weather Ball. Shadow performs 4% better than regular. So if you don't have the Shadow, you can still run regular and it can still work. Just you need to know how much can a Shadow or a regular survive against something. Like I think Fire Weather Ball from anything just one-shots Abomasnow, Shadow or not. So with Kanto Ninetales, with Roserade, with what's the other one that has Fire Weather Ball? Ninetales, Roserade, Cast Form, Sunny Cast Form. Those 3, if you are going to run Abomasnow, you do have to be cautious of. And that was one of the ones that we had talked about earlier this week was Cast Form is a slot, what is it, Bantamweight?
The first slot, lightest.
The first slot. All versions of Cast Form are within the first slot. I would highly recommend considering a Cast Form for this format only as a filler, because I want to say it was slot 2 is probably the best spot for a ground type between either Whiscash, your Mudboy slot essentially, either Whiscash or Stunfisk, Unova Stunfisk. They both play different roles, but they both are also the key ground types in this format, where you can also then come back and go, okay, well, if I run slot 2 as the ground type slot, what am I putting in slot 1? Well, slot 1 can be a Cast Form, and it can be whatever flavor you want. Flavor by type. Because it's a very versatile slot. You have the Cast Forms, you have Trash Wormadam, you have some Charm users, and I think there was something else in slot 1 that was unique. Oh, Greedent.
Yeah, somehow is a bantamweight. I imagine it's just really small.
Yeah.
Like incredibly small.
But
Actually,
Greedent is one of those, like Toxicroak, that's just kind of a Swiss Army knife of the format.
13.2 pounds or 6 kilograms. It is 2 feet tall.
Yeah, so it's just small.
I thought it was bigger.
It's all fur.
Yeah.
It's all fluff.
Smaller,
My gosh.
It is smaller than you think.
This thing is so obnoxious in Unite.
I imagine
They recently added Greedent to Pokemon Unite.
Uh-huh.
And if you don't deny its self-healing ability, it gets crazy. You could say it goes nuts.
There's a pun there. I'm gonna leave it alone.
It's going to be an interesting cup. It's going to be a little overwhelming trying to team build. Don't burn out on it. Practice. It is the best way you can learn. If you don't have people that you can practice with, come join us. You can beat up on me and Steven for a while.
I'm down for it. It'll happen. Don't worry. Anything else?
For the Brawler Cup, I hope that everyone gets the chance to try it. I know a lot of people don't like whitelist formats. They feel like it's incredibly limiting, and they show all these options, but the stats are showing us already only really certain top 8, 10 things are going to perform. So don't be overwhelmed by what is performing. There's a few ways you can approach this. You can go for comfort, you can go for performance, or you can go for spice. But just know that no two opponent, you're never going to be able to just steamroll. Unless you're really good at PvP and you're just natural.
It's complicated.
Yeah,
I need to work on my team. I think I have some experience with Vigoroth, but I have no experience with Cofagrigus. So unless I wanted to run Vigoroth, Cofagrigus, and something else within like Open Great League to try it out, which isn't available currently because I think it's Ultra League right now.
Yep.
In GBL, I have no way to practice outside of lining up
Individual
other
player
people.
matchups.
Yeah, lining up other points, which I won't have the
I
time
mean, you
to
could do against the NPCs.
Yeah, I guess that's not as general practice as useful.
No.
It's not the optimal way. Actually, I guess PV Poke does have you can sim battle within PV Poke. That's still a feature, right?
Yep.
Okay, so you can still build teams and then run up against bots, basically.
If you do use PV Poke, again, disclaimer, take it with a grain of salt because
Build
ideally
a team and
these
practice
are all
it.
yeah.
You put the stats into practice and get a better sense of how it plays when a battle is actually going on.
Right, especially with your shadows and stuff.
There's only so many numbers that the servers can crunch to give us these numbers as fast as they
right,
do.
and
So.
it's that also doesn't accumulate people stalling, running switch timers down, fast move denying, all that fun
Running
jargon.
whatever. Yeah. Yeah, I might have to reconsider and just run full comfort because, like, I do have some experience with Vigo. Probably not as much as I'd like. I have no experience running Cofagrigus, so tickle in the back of my throat. Yeah. Oh, cool. I just earned my movement for the day. Complete. Well done. You ready to move on?
Yep.
To the thing. I'm going to hit the split button, and I don't have a bumper for it. But the community question from last episode. What previous Community Day Pokemon would you choose to get as Remixed Community Day and why? AKA, by remix, we mean the same species, but a different featured move / bonus. Up on Twitter, we had a couple of responses, so we'll break through those here first. PvP Steve at PvP Steve 1. Who took PvP Steve without the 1? Dratini, we would presumably get the fabled superpower Dragonite that was voted down last year.
Responded with a very well animated GIF.
It's a fantastic gift from the Pokemon Generations animated series. That is all up on YouTube, so go watch that. It's fantastic. It's an official animated thing. It's not a fan thing anyway. At Rose_Diamond10 responds to that with came here to say this. So seconding the Dratini Community Day. Or community remixed community day. Spicy Gecko at Spicy Gecko 1 responds with Incinerate Infernape, literally anything to help him stand apart from Blaziken. It's too bad Incinerate would not help it either, I don't believe.
It would make it better, but it just needs counter.
It just makes it different. Yeah, I mean, as a fighter without counter.
They say make it stand different from Blaziken. It's like Blaziken kind of stands separate already.
Yeah, Blaziken's weird enough and isn't incredibly relevant. I feel like it gets less relevant every month. Like, it just kind of goes away. At some point, it'll, like, disappear, and someone will be like, hey, it'd be like your high school reunion, and someone will be like, have you guys heard from Blaziken in a while? Oh my God, is he still alive? Like, what is he doing? Last I heard, he was working at the gas station down the road.
Jeez.
It's like...
No, I feel for him, though, for Infernape. It's always been the butt end of a joke because it's a speed-based Pokemon.
And speed stats are calculated into the stats but aren't relevant within.
They're cheeks and go.
Yeah. Right. That is our Twitter responses. Let's go over to the Battle Science Discord, which is available to anyone. Anyone can come over to the Battle Science Discord, no additional charge. Find the link down in the descriptions and hop in, say hello. Lurk, be active. We don't care as long as you keep it family friendly. We are okay. Family friendly and on topic for each channel. Community question. I responded with Squirtle Community Day with Blastoise getting Bubble, which I don't. Does it get Bubble? Did we say that it didn't get Bubble?
I don't remember.
Did I goof it? Or no, you say Squirtle Blastoise with Bubble.
Yep.
Not me. Let's see. Winston the Champ also wants a Squirtle rerun with a good fast move. Swinub to evolve with a better secondary charge move. Ancient Power sucks and Bulldoze is a subpar ground move. Maybe Earthquake or Earth Power. Ijubi responds with Earth Power on Swinub would be nasty. Slackoth, Winston the Champ also responds with Slackoth with a fast move that actually does something. Slackoth or Slacking with a Yawn is...
So the slacking with Yawn is true to its ability, which is Truant, which is it allows it in the main series games you attack every other turn.
Yeah, it only is able to use a move every other turn,
which because it's due to the fact that it has an astounding 600 base attack.
It's a beast. So I mean. Literally, if you gave it anything like Tackle, it would probably then become pretty reasonable anyway.
Give it Struggle.
Give it Struggle? Is that a fast move?
Yeah.
Is it bad?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
1-1.
Oh, interesting. For one turn? Interesting. Something is giving me static in my headphones. Interference. Give me that Master League tank. Weird one, but I love Turtwig line, and it does not learn Vine Whip, but it can learn Bullet Seed or Mud Slap. Could be an interesting wrinkle for Torterra. Sand Tomb, Stone Edge could be made into a better option like Earth Power or Superpower. Yes. Definitely.
Yeah, it just feels like the Sinnoh starters kind of got pooped on.
Yeah. I mean, Empoleon's probably the best in that option, but it's one of those things that it's then neutral to fire because of the water steel.
Yeah, it's its unique
and it's
typing.
Like, that doesn't help it a whole lot.
Plus
the fact that
pack.
I mean, plus the fact that metal moves or steel moves are not good anyway. So Metal Claw doesn't help it at all. It's not really able to perform in that unique type role without a viable steel type move.
Yeah.
You responded to a bunch of stuff. Looking to see. I asked what could Typhlosion get that would make it a bit more relevant. It needs something snappy in a second charge move slot, I think. And without its moveset in front of me, something like a Weather Ball or Shadow Ball or something, because Incinerate gives it some play. Jamar responds with Power Out Punch. Solar Beam is its best coverage move against waters. Incinerate makes it playable in Ultra, giving it Body Slam. Winston the Champ responds with Typhlosion can learn Aerial Ace, or Thunder Punch, or Wild Charge, or Rock Slide. Thunder Punch or Aerial Ace would be interesting, is what I respond with. And Jamar agrees that Thunder Punch would be cool. That is...
I've been playing with a Incinerate Typhlosion in Ultra Premier Cup. Getting Solar Beam off on Napoleon is so satisfying.
How long does it take? Like
a while.
Incinerate is definitely a cool move.
I mean, in that matchup, you want to use Incinerate because it's more effective to use that twice.
Right, but like Incinerate's duration is like the longest thing. Like it feels so risky.
Depends on the matchup, and you got to hope that they don't have a fast charge move like a Snorlax with Body Slam.
Yeah, it makes me real nervous to run it. Like it's rough in rocket battles running Incinerate. So
yeah.
I'm gonna be honest, like normal. I don't have another community question. Let's see. We have
the Festival of Lights coming up. We have the Rocket Team event coming up. We have Brawler Cup coming up. We also have Factions coming up.
Yes. I'm trying to think of what kind of community question we can ask.
Do you want to ask something relevant to the Diamond and Pearl remake?
Yes. That is a good way to go. I feel like the starter question is rather, I don't know, overdone.
But it'll get replies.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I guess. I don't know. What version are you playing is also overdone. My foot's asleep. My foot is so asleep right now. That tingles. I literally can't think of anything.
Least favorite starter and why?
Of Sinnoh?
Nah, we could just
Or just in
broad.
general? I mean, we could get some spicy answers. Not against it. All right, sure. With a new...
What's the Thanksgiving Pokemon dinner look like?
No. No.
Who's
No,
the Uncle
thanks.
Pokemon?
No. Who's the... No. It's Mr. Mime. No. What? The one that just like comes in with like spicy takes and you just want them to shut up at Thanksgiving
Yes.
dinner? It's Mr. Mime.
Okay, let's make that the question. Who's the Thanksgiving? Who's the relative equivalent Pokemon?
No. Because it's Mr. Mime. It answers itself. Ash's supposed dad is the one that makes Thanksgiving dinner so gosh diddly darned uncomfortable. We're not doing that right now. I think your least favorite starter is probably I don't know, an interesting enough question. Your least favorite starter and why? And that could be, that's the entire line. So like I unreasonably hate the Charmander line.
Really?
Okay. Let me rephrase that. One of my personal philosophies is that I don't hate people. Hate means that I actively am spending energy towards like disliking something, and that is exhausting, and there's no need for it. There are three people that I actively hate. I will go into none of the reasons or who they are and why I hate them, because that's a topic for another show. So I don't.
That's a topic for B-Sad.
That's a topic for B-Sad. I don't hate Charizard. I very much dislike it, and I broke my rubber band.
Are we going to
sadness.
include generations that are not in Pogo yet?
Sure, dude. Just
Okay,
give it all of it.
Purina Marina's on the table for me.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
I don't like it.
And it's just doesn't. It's not as good as
I just
Azumarill. It won't be as good as Azumarill. I don't think it'll be
like
as...
it because of how often I faced it in competitive.
Oh, interesting. I mean, Primarina, it's gonna get Hydro Cannon, so will it be a better Azumarill?
I mean, it's an Ultra League, Master League Azu.
At least it's gonna be more. If you're at level 40, the community day, you're getting XL candy for it. So,
yeah, assumingly. But
Yeah.
there's my answer to your question. It's a cool concept how it was presented. I'm not a fan.
Yeah, I think. Let's see. Trying to think back through. No, Feraligator's pretty sick. It's just I wish it was better. I wish it were better. Feraligator's a pretty sick concept. Trying to think of like my least favorite. I don't. No. I'm like comparing them all against like Charizard. Let's see. Gen 3.
For me, a close second would probably be Infernape. I'm sorry, but never a fan of Wukong.
Gen 3 is Swampert.
Sceptile, Swampert, and Blaziken.
Nope, don't hate any of those. Or don't dislike any of those.
Gen 4 was Torterra, Infernape, and Empoleon.
Don't hate any of those. Gen 5 is...
Emboar, Superior, and Samurott.
Nope.
Alola was Incineroar.
Gen 6 is Kalos.
Oh.
So you're looking at Greninja.
Braxian.
Yes.
And Chestnut.
Yeah. Or yeah. All of which were sick. It's just I'd never played that generation. I never played X and Y. I'd love to see an X and Y remake.
And then Alola was
one on
Decidueye,
Switch.
Purine, Marina, and Incineroar.
Which one did I go with? I went with Decidueye. In the brief gameplay I played of it.
Rowlet is awesome.
Rowlet is dope.
And then Galar was
Scorbunny.
Sobble's third form. I don't remember.
I don't remember.
007.
The sniper.
Inteleon.
Anteleon, and then
Rillaboom.
yeah, Rillaboom. What was the?
You can never unsee Rillaboom
Grookey.
playing the DK rap song.
Yeah, I think I have to go with Charizard. It's like the it's not a hate, it's a most disliked. And I don't, it maybe because it like ranks so high as far as popularity that I'm like,
Just anti-meta.
I guess. Plus the fact that it's like as a fire flying within Pokemon Go, like it's not good. I mean, it's good. It's been relevant, but it's like, God, this in performance, I'm like, this is gross. This is like,
Why do you like this thing?
yeah, it's like it's okay. It's only okay. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go to Charizard. Don't at me, or do actually, because it's gonna go up on Twitter. So let us know what your least favorite starter Pokemon is, and we roughly outlined all of them. And why? Explain why, because those stories I'm sure are going
Those
to be
stories
interesting.
are what make us laugh and make it a more interesting show.
Make us giggle. Give us the gigglies.
Yeah, for me, Primarina, just burn.
You have a legitimate bias against it. I don't have a legitimate bias against Charizard. It's like not.
The
People
little
like, that's-
seal mermaid Pokemon that can burn.
All right, I think that's it. That's the end of another Battle Science podcast, a Pokemon Go PvP podcast where we talk about Pokemon Go PvP. Pokemon,
Where can they find us?
perhaps at battle_science on Twitter. You can email us at battlescience.podcast@gmail.com. You can find us on podcast services around the globe, twitch.tv/battlescience, where we live stream our episodes before they go up on podcast services. If you want to financially support us, you can go to patreon.com/battlescience and back us at $1 tier or more to get access to the Battle Science After Dark podcast, as well as the Battle Science podcast a few days before it goes up to everyone else, along with pre-show, post-show audio, video stuff. If and when we do that, I do it every once in a while. I don't think I have it in me to do a post-show tonight. But here in the next few weeks, I should probably do another post-show. I feel like I'm missing something, but I don't think I'm missing something. YouTube. Go over to youtube.com and search up Battle Science. We still need a handful more subscribers to reach the
Vanity URL.
for youtube.com/Battle Science. We're making progress, but it is slow progress as usual. So 56 subscribers, which I believe we had 2 weeks ago. If we go here, your channel. 56 subscribers. So if you want to go support us in a way that is not throwing money at us indirectly, you can go over to youtube.com, search up Battle Science, and subscribe. You can turn the notification bell off. That is fine. You don't have to get the notifications, but if you subscribe, you at least help us get the youtube.com/Battle Science. So it's nice and pretty and easy to refer people to. And you can hop over onto the Discord. Link should be in the description. If it is broken, let us know. I can update it. But you can go join our Discord where you can talk PvP. You can talk other stuff. Been talking about hockey and NaNoWriMo, National Novel Writing Month, in our off-topic channel, or whatever off-topic stuff you want to talk about.
We
and
also
stuff.
have the Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl releases coming out, so I'm sure people will be buzzing on that.
Yes. I don't know what the trade situation. I know like PvP.
They haven't said anything.
You can battle other people or no?
They haven't said.
Hmm.
But then again, I'm not planning to get it, so I haven't looked into it.
Yeah, the competitive meta is going to stay within Sword and Shield. But they haven't made mention. You can at least run around the underground area with other people, which was a cool feature in Diamond and Pearl originally. So That's continuing on in the remakes here. So if you want to catch up with some other players of the Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, I believe, or is it the other way around? You can hop into our Discord. I'm sure we're going to have a couple people playing it too. So thank you, everybody, for listening to the podcast. We'll catch you in 2 weeks for another episode of the Battle Science Podcast. That is it. We will see you out there on the battlefield.
Bye.